is going to be rocking. All right, LeBron posted this on his Instagram story of himself in the gym with Tyrese Maxey with a caption saying, "We locked in, Reese for president." So those two are already bonding. Let's get our senior writer, Anthony Slater, and basketball analyst, King McClure, into this discussion, guys. All right, King, let's start with you. What type of influence do you see LeBron having on the Sixers squad? They've got a couple of young guys, notably, of course, VJ.
That's what my mind immediately goes to. It goes to the young guys. When you look at VJ, you look at Tyrese Maxey. I mean, these are future stars of the NBA. And the amount of knowledge, the amount of information that you're going to gain from a guy like LeBron. We know that he's going to elevate your play, but it's the mentality. It's teaching you how to work. It's teaching you how to be a better, take care or whatever of your body, right? Every single day. He teaches you how to be a pro's pro. I got a chance to spend some time with BJ last week, who had Baylor at our alma mater, and he was so ecstatic. He was walking around with an extra step, with an extra chip in his step, because he was that level of happy that he got a guy like LeBron James, one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest to ever do it, to be able to learn from day in, day out. And we just saw the graphic of the young guys that LeBron has been able to mentor. So now when you take VJ, when you take Tyrese Maxey, if I was those two, I'd be ecstatic as well.
Now imagine you're VJ and you just had the sensational year that you had at such a young age, and you realize you get to learn from LeBron James. Perk, you've seen it firsthand. Just how much better does LeBron James make his teammates?
Oh, go ask J.R. Smith. Go ask our very own Iman Shumpert. Go ask Kyrie Irving. Matter of fact, go ask Kevin Love. Like, do we remember Kevin Love with the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Wow.
Yes, he was putting up numbers, but look at his body, right? Look at the change in his body, his health, his mindset, right? Like knowing. And when you share a locker room with LeBron, you know you see what's happening. You see him there for us being the first guy at the gym. You see him staying late after the thing. You see how he's one of the first to arrive to the arena, how he gets massages before the games, how everything across the board, and he teaches you how not only to sacrifice and to learn how to be a professional, but he also teaches you routine, right? And that's the biggest thing that these young guys are going to learn, especially BJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, is they're going to grow and learn from this. Past these 2 years or however long LeBron James is going to be in the Philadelphia uniform, they're going to learn down the line, and they're going to look up and cherish these moments, whether they win a championship or not, or what LeBron did for them. Go ask the regrets Kyrie Irving had when he left and asked for a trade up out of Cleveland. And he said one thing, if he had to change one thing, he wouldn't have never left, because of the effect and what LeBron brings to the table.
It's a great point. All right, for kind of a bigger picture perspective, Slater, you spent years with Bob Myers in Golden State, and when this happened, my mind went to Bob Myers did again, right? Like, he got Kevin Durant to come to Golden State, and here he is, huge in helping LeBron get to Philadelphia. What impact has he already kind of had in his short time with the Sixers in that front office? Yeah,
you know, when we talk about culture reset, and we're talking about it, you know, through the LeBron James lens, but I go back a summer when I heard Bob Myers leaving this network, taking over, an overseeing role in Philadelphia. I went back in my mind to the times I covered the Rockets-Warriors series, and if you were around those teams like I were, you knew the differing personalities of a Bob Myers compared to a Daryl Morey, and immediately you thought the clock might be ticking on the Daryl Morey era. Ultimately, it was, and to me, this summer was Bob Myers hitting fast forward on a full cultural reset. Obviously, LeBron James is a huge piece of that. Jaylen Brown, I mean, we're talking about a guy with routine and habits and takes care of his body. So you look at those two now leading the organization. I think Mike Gansey, from what I've heard, has a very similar personality to Bob Myers, why he was hired by Bob Myers. So those are four major personalities, I think, that are fully resetting the Sixers from I'm saying the Joel Embiid, Daryl Morey era. I know Joel Embiid's still there, but I think they're kind of moving past the culture that was part of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, 100%, because Jaylen Brown, let's not forget, he's also a winner. So we talk about teaching people how to win, right? Jaylen Brown can also mentor these young guys and teach them how to be able to win in moments where it matters the most. So you have both of those guys, right? And that's can sprinkle to Joel Embiid. Even though Embiid's been in the league longer than a guy like Jaylen Brown is still a winner, and let's not sleep on that fact.
Yep, a lot of personalities, a lot of winners. Yep. Hopefully they can stay healthy. It's going to be an interesting season for sure. All right, coming up on NBA Today, happy 20 the T-Wolves traded for LaMelo this offseason. But does that cement them as one of the best backcourts alongside Ant? We debate it right here on NBA Today. All right, according to Fanatics, the LeBron James Philadelphia 76ers jersey has surpassed Shohei Ohtani for the most jerseys sold within the first 48 hours of a player switching teams. Wow. Safe to say LeBron is ready for the city of brotherly love. The 41-year-old's decision to sign with Philly had some prior connections when you look back at it. Check out this photo from 25 years ago. New president of the 76ers, Mike Gansey, and LeBron were both Northeast Ohio school basketball stars. Gansey, of course, now 43 years old, went on and worked for the Cavs for 15 years. They won that 2016 title together as well. And speaking of Gansey, he threw out the first pitch last night at the Philadelphia Phillies game. He joined their broadcast in the third inning and spoke about how they signed one of the best players to ever play the game. Take a listen.
I called Rich right away and said, hey, and we got Jalen, is there a chance LeBron will want to come to us? And, you know, obviously they're saying, yeah, you know, this changes some things. So they talked about it. And then obviously the whole process of whatever, 3 weeks or whatever it went, they were doing all their due diligence with LeBron and, you know, talking to all our players and other teams and, you know, their representation and stuff. So it was, yeah, it was a long process, but yeah, we don't get LeBron without Jalen, that's for sure.
Well, Mike's had a good couple weeks now, welcoming in one of LeBron's former teammates, NBA champ Kendrick Perkins. I'm Vanessa Richardson in for Malika Andrews. Perk, what's your reaction to what Mike Gansey had to say about the recruitment of LeBron James?
Well, I mean, I wish it was a moment for us to have a previously on NBA Today, because I've been saying this since it happened, that Jaylen Brown was the piece that actually moved the needle. But again, you think of, every time I think of someone making these comments and talking about the 76ers and you think that they could possibly go on and win the championship, I always got to think about the Boston Celtics and Brad Stevens. Like, this is going to be tied to them for the rest of the, I mean, for the history of the NBA. It's going to be tied to them for the simple fact that not only did you trade an all-NBA caliber player to a rivalry team, but now you know that was the deciding factor to land arguably the greatest player to ever play the game that is still playing at an all-NBA level that possibly could go out and win the championship. If the 76ers go on to win an NBA championship with LeBron James and Jaylen Brown, it will stain the Boston Celtics forever, for the rest of the NBA history totality, that this will go down as arguably the decision for LeBron James.
And when we think of the decision with LeBron James, we usually think of another decision. But yeah, certainly people shocked that Brad Stevens made that move. But by the way, here's more from Mike Gansey on what else drew LeBron to Philly and what fans should expect this season.
I think the reason why he came is Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown.
Don't sell yourself short,
so
don't sell yourself short, buddy.
Our ownership's incredible. Bob Myers, you know, Nick Nurse. So I think just like top to bottom and the alignment in our organization, I think probably sold it. I don't think Philly knows what they're getting because he's special, and our games are going to be, every game he plays in, it's just like a different atmosphere that you just can't replace or can't replicate.
In those 3 playoff games, 49 for 138. That's pitiful. We know that their offensive line last year was decimated. They had me out there. They could have put me out there. I would have been just as good as some of the people they had playing for him last year, all right? Pressured 48 times on 127 dropbacks. That's like a ridiculous rate. It's almost 40%. So the guy is running for his life. Again, the question is, are they putting too much on him? Since Justin went to the Chargers in 2020, all right? They're 22nd in total rushing attempts as a team. So they haven't run the football a whole lot.
Not much.
Okay, they haven't run the football a whole lot.
That
Again,
goes back to Brandon Staley. Don't get me started with him.
It's on him. Now, I will say this. The Chiefs are even lower. They're 25th, okay, in total rushing attempts. So what you're saying is, hey, they put it on Patrick. He's developed, but again, there's more to this, all right? They have not been top 25 they're not top 25 in rushing yards. They're not top 25 in rushing average. They're not top 25 in rushing TDs. None of those categories. So basically, it's been his show. Now, since he's come into the league, he's 4th in passing yards. He's 2nd in passing attempts. So they're putting it all on him. They're saying, Justin, we're not giving you a whole lot of help. This is what Mike is talking about. We have to take some of the pressure off of him. He's had Keenan Allen, he's had Ladd McConkey, he's had Mike Williams. So he's had some decent weapons on the perimeter. But it's been very much so Justin-centric. We don't have a running game. Offensive line gets hurt. Every year we talk about the Chargers and the fact that we think they're one of the better rosters. And they do a nice job of doing things in the offseason to help him and try and round this thing out. And last year they had one of the best defenses. But they just haven't been able to supplement him. That's what Mike's talking about.
Go ahead, Gerald.
Doggy, I'm with you. This just falls in line with more excuses we make it to Justin Herbert. If he needs time, that's fine. But every time y'all get a chance, stop going to the mountaintop and screaming,
This discussion makes it clear that LeBron James could have a major impact on the Philadelphia 76ers that goes far beyond his production during games. His years of experience, professionalism, and everyday approach could be extremely valuable for younger players such as Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. At the same time, the Sixers appear to be reshaping their culture by surrounding the roster with proven winners and strong personalities. Having LeBron, Jaylen Brown, Bob Myers, and Nick Nurse in the organization creates a completely different level of leadership, and that could help Philadelphia become much more locked in on its ultimate goal of winning. The relationship between Brown and LeBron is especially intriguing because Brown's arrival reportedly played a role in making Philadelphia a more appealing destination for LeBron. And if the Sixers eventually managed to win a championship with both of them on the team, Boston's decision to trade Brown could end up being remembered as one of the most heavily criticized moves in recent NBA history. But LeBron's value isn't limited to what happens when he has the ball in his hands. Younger players can learn simply by observing how he prepares, maintains his body, handles pressure, and approaches the game every single day. From there, the discussion moves over to Justin Herbert and the pressure he faces in Los Angeles. There are legitimate issues surrounding the Chargers, particularly when it comes to their offensive line and the lack of a dependable running game. At the same time, the criticism of Herbert is understandable because despite being consistently viewed as an elite quarterback, he still hasn't delivered the level of playoff success many expected from him.